Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm talking about UFC 312. Happened last night. Crazy fight of night. Crazy night of fights. I'm an idiot right now. I don't know why I can't talk. Uh, Crazy night of fights. Not really. Kind of stinky. But I'm gonna go through the whole card, starting from the prelims and starting right up. Okay, boys, we are jumping into this. The prelims. All right. First things first. Colby Thickness versus Taporia. This is Ilya Taporia's older brother, I believe. Um, Ilya's first fight was uh, a fifth round decision too, so he might have just been playing it safe. And I wouldn't call this like I wouldn't say like every like he this is all he's got because it was a rather uneventful fight. I think now that he's gotten his first win, he's going to be a lot more confident. I would really keep an eye on this guy. Possibly, uh, he could be a new champion. You know, it was a good fight. Like I wouldn't put too much to it because like during the fight I was watching Colby and I was like, man, this guy kind of reminds me of me, and I was hoping that Alexandre would whoop him more. Do a lot better. But it was a good competitive fight nonetheless. Next up was Wang Kong. Um, the biggest thing that stood out about this fight was that none of the commentators could pronounce her name right. Everyone was calling her Wang Tong, Wang Chong, Kong Wong. Like I don't know if they had been drinking or what, but like they were going wild with this lady's name. Next fight was Tom Nolan versus Vaishlev Borchev. This is Slava Claus. This was actually a good fight. Slava Claus, I thought was like he had a chance in the second round. I thought he was going to turn it around, but it was like Tom Nolan was winning probably like 60 to 70% of the exchanges, and like he was still receiving damage, but Slavokov was just getting, you know, like edged out every single round. And this dude Borshev punches like a ton of bricks. You can tell. You can tell. He's just like a bald little like tank. He's like a ball of meat. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. He's like he's like Joe Rogan if he had a beard and like was in the UFC. Next up, Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Very uneventful, I believe, ended with a rear naked choke after Gabriel Santos was beating him up on the feet. Nothing too crazy. Now, I liked the main card because I was right for the most part. You know, I'm never wrong. But starting up with Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. This fight went exactly how I thought it was going to. Jake Matthews just had much cleaner boxing. He was winning probably 75 to 80% of the exchanges, whereas Francisco was winning like 30 to 25. Jake Matthews was still taking some damage. I believe he got cut, but Francisco Prado looked beat up by the end of the fight. It was not. It was competitive, but not like I feel like Jake Matthews wins 10 times out of 10 when they fight. At least this night, if we could replay this, at the same time at the same skill level, they would get the same result. You know. Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato, which was an absolute barn burner war. It was crazy because Jimmy Crute, the mullet man, was like insanely durable. Rodolfo Bellato, the first round, he uh he pulled Jimmy Crute on top of him like a complete goofball that the Brazilians are. Like I swear a Brazilian with cauliflower ear is guaranteed the worst wrestler you've ever seen in your life. Like they are so bad at wrestling. This dude literally goes to throw him, pulls Jimmy Crute right on top of him, forfeits the entire first round to being on bottom. Like doesn't even try to escape, doesn't no hand control, no basic wrestling. It was crazy, crazy work. Second round, Jake Matthews, I believe, won the first 3.5 minutes really. And in the last 90 seconds, what's it called? Beato. Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy Crute won the first like 3.5 minutes. Rodolfo Beato won the last like 90 seconds. So he really could have stole that second round. And then the third round was such a back and forth that they literally gave him a draw. They literally called it a draw, which is so insane. I wish instead of having a draw, they just have a fourth round. They just put it. Like, if it's literally a draw, push the championship rounds. Like, what are you doing? Why? 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 Just made like you just made everybody so angry. Anybody that gambled on that fight, it ruined everybody's parlay. That screwed up everybody's parlay. Nobody, like anybody that bet on that fight, ruined their parlay. And yeah, that just upsets me knowing that. Next up is Justin Tafa versus Taliesin Teixeira. And let me tell you this, but I'm at first, my first prediction was Justin Tafa, but then I switched it to Taliesin Teixeira because I was like, Justin, I saw a fight with Justin. He was literally on bottom for, like, it took him, I swear, 2.5 to 3 minutes to even attempt to get off a bottom. So I started calling him fat and lazy. So fat and lazy was fighting this dude, Taliesin Teixeira, which I swear he's got to be 7 foot and like 260 pounds. So I started calling him tall and goofy. So fat and lazy fight versus tall and goofy. Tall and goofy literally walks up, pushes this motherfucker to the edge of the cage, throws an elbow, smushes his face, literally smushes him, and fat and lazy literally drops to the floor, and it is done. It is over within, what was it, 35 seconds? Within the first 40 seconds, this fight is done for. You know, really, really good fight. Keep your eye out for Taliesin. He's 25 years old, dude. 25 years old, and he's a heavyweight. I would really like to see him against like a Curtis Blades or, you know, somebody ranked. But he's probably gonna have another like 5 or 6 cans. Hopefully, hopefully he gets freaking tied to Avasa. Hopefully he gets tied to Avasa. Tied to Avasa looked like he looked like an ad for Ozempic. Like, you know what I mean? Literally like a before picture of Ozempic. He looked crazy fat. Like he was drunk at the press con. They had a press conference for like all the big famous people. I don't know why, but he looked like shit. Zhang Wei Li versus Tatiana Suarez. Zhang Wei Li beat her, I believe it was a unanimous decision. Tatiana Suarez just really fell off after the first round. She had a competitive first round, but yeah, after the first round, just really fell off a cliff. And like I said, I never predict girl fights because it is such a toss up. Like literally anything could change. Anything could change their entire camp. And like I feel like genetically women are so different. Like you could have one girl that is like equal to like an average man, and then one girl that like you could snap her wrist with your like you could just snap her wrist with your grip strength. And then Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Man, what an absolute tragedy. Dricus du Plessis put a complete clinic on Sean Strickland. It looked like Sean didn't even want to be there. It was like, ugh, made me so sad. I was having trouble connecting to the stream, and then I started watching it, and I saw Sean just like leaking blood out of his nose, and he was. It makes me so upset because he got absolutely robbed that first fight, and then this second fight just final nail in the coffin. He's not going to be able to fight DDP for a long time. Like he's not going to be able to fight for a belt, possibly ever again. He may never fight for a belt again. And it sucks because when he was the champion, he squandered it so much. Like he ruined his time as champion. Like it sucks, but yeah. So that's what we got going for the main event. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But until next time, I'll see you guys. Peace.